We have to admit, there's something insidious and detestable about late-night television. A kind of vicious circle it's hard to realize until you actually go to a taping and the warm-up comedian gauges your laugh on a 1 to 10 volume scale and instructs you that you're only at about a 7 and you need to keep it up and turn it up for every little joke you're about to see because the microphones are way up in the ceiling and they won't hear you otherwise. It begins to dawn on you after about 10 cheerless guffaws that you came to the taping because you thought the show was funny, and you thought the show was funny because all the jokes were followed by laughs and cheers, and the laughs and cheers you're forced to make are what's causing the audience at home to think the show is funny, and it's why they want to come to the taping themselves, which they do, and they laugh, and the cycle begins again. Disappointing as this is, it's also truly absurd, a self-generating absurdity that appears normal to us because it's all we know. And if a really smart and innovative comedian wanted to draw attention to the normalization of this absurd American ritual, perhaps the first thing to do would be to grab hold of the absurdity dial and turn it way up.
The biggest joint I've ever seen at Hogwarts. I don't think this is the right dish. We're going to keep going with this, and we're going to see when we hit the pixelation. How are we doing here?
This is a very strange show.
Lonely, unmarried, looking for love. Life was passing me by. So I sent off my photo, hobbies and age. Magazine marriage I'd try. They say for centuries lovely Japanese girls have been trained in the art of pleasing men. Be lonely no more, open destiny's door. For $1 they arrange a meeting.
For 10 years, the brilliant Craig Ferguson has lit a fire from within the late-night talk show universe, systematically deconstructing all its elements, whether it's the deferential sidekick, the live band, or the pre-interview.
More than any. The pre-interview means nothing.
It means nothing, it's meaningless. The pre-interview is a formality like wearing a tie or underpants.
Indeed, it seemed like the biggest enemy to Ferguson's sense of comedy was the very foundation of late-night TV, structure itself.
All right. Who's that at the door?
Ferguson actively sought out the unrehearsed, the spontaneous. He encouraged the awkward, the weird, the difficult to bear.
You know, we should start rehearsing this show, I think.
He recognized and despised late night's deification of celebrity and took every opportunity to mock us for buying into it.
It's a short time on this planet, man. It's a date, and then a hyphen, and then another date. And we're the hyphen. And I'm like, I'm not spending the whole time talking to celebrities, man. I'm not doing it.
Now, this isn't to say that hosts like Jimmy Fallon, who I do like, is somehow bankrupt because all he does is pay homage to the format by putting it in terms young people of today can understand. It's just that he and Ferguson sit at opposite ends of the spectrum. Or rather, Ferguson, more than anyone else, willingly places himself outside the spectrum, and his relationship to late night is of an altogether different quality, a revolutionary one.
What gives you the right to let Americans not hear cuss words? You
Girl with the dragon tattoo.
what gives you the right?
Indeed, the tension between Ferguson and late night was what made Ferguson so funny. His ability to express contempt for his position, his network, his job, his willingness to admit his failures, to dwell on them, was, for many of us, extremely liberating. And that's because late night TV is a fantasy of sophistication and charm and fun, a standard to which, after enough time, we hold ourselves unwittingly. No one knew this better than Craig Ferguson. For 10 fucking awesome, fucking weird years, he tried to show us that life bears far less resemblance to a string of funny stories than to the long, awkward pauses that exist between them.
What I hope we've done is maybe trying to, maybe art is a very grand word, but what I was trying to do here, and what I think that we've managed to do here, is make something that wasn't here before.
I like chocolate, milk chocolate. I know dark chocolate is in, but you didn't want this, did you? You didn't want a robot who thinks. You didn't want someone who creates of his own mind. No. I like milk chocolate.